Hi guys, so I wanted to film for you for Willow 3 commands. Leave it, touch, and boredom training. And boredom training really isn't a command in and of itself, but it is activities to do with her to help her learn how to self-regulate. Miss Willow loves to work. Oh my goodness, this kid is smart, but she hates boredom. She hates frustration. Like looking and just sitting there, she gets very sigh and vocal and side-eye and throws her body. Like it's hilarious. Well, I find humor in it because it's just her realizing how to calm herself down. So when we talk about boredom training, I want you to find ways that integrate into your lifestyle. So if these 2 skills don't fit, let me know. There's a bunch of other ways that we can talk about integration into your day-to-day. First one is take a leash, put her on it, and attach her to you. So whether that's a belt, that's a carabiner, it doesn't really matter how you attach her to it. The idea is that your hands are free and she's stuck with you. Hi. And then you're gonna ignore her and go about your business. So you're gonna clean the house, you're gonna do the dishes, you're gonna cook dinner, you're gonna randomly change directions on her. But the idea is that you're not giving her attention, she has to pay attention to you. Do this for about 15, 20 minutes. So set an activity, so putting laundry away. That's, for me, really intensive process. I hate laundry. So usually I do it on my big kitchen table, and then I go deliver it to all the spots in the house. Good. But essentially she's stuck. And that right there where she's like, I'm gonna nibble on this. You just give it an good girl, and then off you go doing other things. This is that boredom training because I don't wanna be stuck to this. And off you go. Teaches the foundation for leash work. It also teaches her boundary work. It also teaches her how she's gonna focus. If she gets a little crazy, she's doing zoomies in the house, she's body checking furniture, you can also put her on the slip blade and practice that. Good. Now, the other thing that I want you to focus on with boredom training, and this one's sometimes a little bit easier to integrate, is put her on the leash and you're gonna watch TV. You're gonna scroll on your phone, you're gonna read a book, a chapter in a book. If it was nice enough outside, I'd say, go have a cup of coffee outside, and she sits there. But you're gonna take that leash, you're gonna put it under your foot, and you're gonna sit with her on the ground and wait. She's gonna die. She'll play tug with the leash, she's gonna pull it, and you're just gonna casually tell her, Willow, good girl, yes. But that's it, I'm gonna ignore her. I'm not gonna pet her, I'm not asking her for sit, I'm not asking her for down, I'm not asking her for place or stay or any other cues, because what it is self-regulation. I am teaching her, I'm holding her space, saying, hey, I need you to settle and be calm. This is the way we do it. This is what's gonna happen. And that's where you can tell her, yes, and go back to what you're watching or back to what you're reading or scrolling on your phone. When she sits or she lays down, you're going to praise her and then go back to what you're doing. I want you to do this for about 25 to 30 minutes in a day if you can. So if you work from home, think of it like one Zoom call. If you're watching TV, think of it like one episode on Netflix. Something that has kind of a set time limit. Do it once a day or 3 or 4 times a week if you can. This, teaching her how to settle, teaching her how to be calm, this is gonna go so far as she gets older. But it's pretty normal for a teenage dog to just really be a teenager and like, no, I don't wanna do it. They're also very dramatic about it too. It's going to help. She can come up and snuggle right after you're done with this, but the difference with this too is that she's on a leash. So she's working, she has to think, she can't just snuggle anyways. It changes the mindset, so it changes the intention of it. So that's boredom training, one of those 2 skills. The other 2 skills that I want to talk about is touch. So it's a flat hand. You're going to put it out and she's going to nose bump it. Oh, let me see if I can lower this so you can see it better. Okay. Willow, touch. Boop. Yes, good girl. Willow, touch. Yes, good girl. Now, occasionally she does like to do a couple licks. It's just a nose bump. This is where it's an introduction into trick training. It's an introduction into skill task. But it's also a good redirection tool. So when she's throwing a hissy fit over something like she is currently, Willow, touch. Yes, good girl. Hi, can you leave it? Thank you. It's just a fun skill to work on. It's kind of like jellyfish, where she wiggles her whole body too. Now, the last skill I want to talk about is leave it. So leave it, how I want you to do leave it is have fun, torture your dog in a healthy, positive way. I know torture and dog training shouldn't go together, but I like to give owners a realization in their head of, hey, you're going to set up situations that your dog is going to hate. because they're going to want to dive bomb for it. So whether that is you have one of their favorite toys. Ha I have a toy! And you're doing play disengagement. So you're playing, and she's going for it, and then you say, Will, leave it. She has to stop and sit. Good. And then you put this toy, leave it somewhere else. It's not just play disengagement where you say, Will, if she sits and she goes back to playing, it's Will, leave it. We're done for this for a moment. Can you walk away without her going after it? Willow, good girl. Can you walk past it and she still has to leave it? Let's go. Yes, good girl. What leave it is a total disengagement. Don't look at it. Don't touch it. Don't even think about it. Toys, I think, are going to be easier for her. But you can also take treats. Woo. Leave it. Now, you can do a swipe. And when we traditionally teach leave it, usually we have the leash, we toss it behind you, and you step in front of the dog, kind of like playing a soccer goalie where I'm claiming the space, and she has to back out of it. But can you also walk away from the thing, and she's still leaving it? Yes, good girl! Yes! Have fun with this. I can make it harder and put a spoonful of peanut butter right here. And she's like, I have to ignore it. Can you play toys? Can you call her back and forth? Yes, good girl. She can get treats elsewhere. She just can't get those treats. Leave it. Let's go. Can you walk around the thing that she really wants? Leave it is make ridiculous situations that she has to ignore the thing that it is. Eventually, this will be a moving object, a ball, watching cars go past, watching other dogs go past, being at the dog park. But right now, this is stationary, which is really hard for her, but she can walk around it, I can walk away from it, and I don't have to be right next to it, hovering and pushing her away from it. Find ways to have fun. Now, when you do leave it, it is highly, highly, highly mentally taxing for a dog. She is going to be exhausted after 10 minutes. So you just have to do it for a short period. And honestly, you could do it 2 or 3 times in a couple different situations, and then go off to do what you're doing. But have fun working on leave it. Yes, good girl. She's got to go do something else instead. Let me know if you have any questions. Good girl. Let me know if you have any questions. I know we're trying to catch you up on some videos of how to do the things. We're also going to schedule our one-on-one in the next week or so to talk about integration and what's next after this. But otherwise, you got a smart kid. You really, really do. And she wants to please you. It's just about how do we integrate it in your day-to-day. Leave it. Good. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll go from there.